Boom. Texting. We are live. Welcome back to the Mid-Sack on a sweltering Man Up Monday. That's what men do.
It's a melting Monday.
It's a melting Monday. Faces are getting melted. They're telling you.
I mean, as if I wasn't greasy enough.
Yeah,
when I got the garlic and olive oil pouring out of my pores,
nothing like it.
Man.
Yep. Put that in your salad dressing.
Hot guinea coming through.
Yep. So anyway, we're going to start this off. We're going to switch to Mets and Red Sox shortly. Red Sox by the way 9-5 in the 8th. We will keep you updated.
You're going to start at 25.
We're going to start with the top 25. Well, I don't know if I mean, you want to go 25 to 1 or 1 to 25?
No, let's do 1 to 12.
1 to 12, yeah.
Or 12 to 1.
Okay.
Now let's go 1 to 12 because the obvious ones will be at the top at 1. And then we'll start to get those surprises like,
I don't know how obvious some of this is, though.
The top 5?
Yeah. I'm surprised at 2 of them, quite honestly.
Okay. Let's begin.
So, obviously, number 1 is Georgia, who's lost one game in the past, 2.5 years.
They win last year?
They lost in the one game to miss the playoff. They had one loss all year. And they blew out Florida State, and then nobody gives a shit ball because Florida State didn't show up.
Who ended up winning the whole thing? Michigan?
Michigan beat Washington.
Michigan, right.
So, Georgia is the obvious number 1 because they're in the best conference. Look, they bring
Michigan
back.
Lost their quarterback.
Michigan lost a lot. The head coach, the quarterback. I mean, Michigan's going to be. I mean,
Washington lost their quarterback, number 1 receiver.
Yeah, number 2 receiver. They lost a ton. So, the SEC is still the SEC, and they just reload. So, Georgia being there is not a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
No, they've been one of the top 3 teams in America the past 4 years. So it's a reality.
Ohio State 2.
Ohio State is 2.
Same thing.
Well, I think Creekmore will be very excited about this because when they do this 12-team playoff, it's going to be seeding. Mm-hmm. If they end up as the 2 seed, then you're Mike. That means you're in this. You'd see whoever comes out of that other bracket. You might not even see the number 1 seed. Mm-hmm. So 2 is, to me, every bit as good as 1. It really is because you're on the opposite side. And
right, but I mean, this is a long way away from what it's actually going to be.
I know, but I'm just saying, if I'm Mike, I'm encouraged to see that.
Well,
they're probably going to finish in the top 3.
Any team that's already ranked top 5, they got to be able to get top 12.
Well, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Worst case scenario, they're going to be in.
Right. Like, it'd be tough to fall out of that.
I think the top 5, barring a major injury. That's the only way it's happening.
Sure.
But all 5 of the top 5 should make the play. He's right. Barring major, yes. You would think so. I agree. So, number 2, Ohio State, yes. Number 3, here's where it gets to Oregon. That one I'm kind of...
Well, they lost Bo Nix, right?
They lost their quarterback. They lost some other pieces, too. So, I'm not saying they shouldn't be ranked. I'm not saying they shouldn't be high. But number 3? Because when I give you the list of what's behind them, you're going to start to go, wait a minute, what? So, number 4, Texas. I don't know if it's Peyton's great, whatever grandson who's
You have them at 4?
They have them at 3.
Oh.
This is the USA Today coaches poll.
Oh, ESPN has Texas at 3.
Yeah, well, maybe that's the AP poll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if the AP poll, that's even better.
All right, my bad. So you got Texas at 4.
4, yeah, that's the coaches poll. But the thing is, the coaches usually know more than the AP. They usually do on this, so that's why I'm kind of like, okay.
Dude, is Texas going to start?
Peyton's, whatever he is.
I think it's Peyton and Eli's nephew. I think it's Cooper's son, right?
The kid's filthy.
Archie?
Yeah.
Arch Manning?
The kid's filthy. Okay, he is.
He hasn't played yet.
What if Peyton Manning could run?
That's what he is?
This might be him.
You've seen him? He's never played.
I've seen his high school tapes.
But why hasn't he hit? I mean,
has
he been sitting for 2 years, or is this his second year?
Just 1 year. I think he got redshirted 1 year.
Okay.
The thing is this: when you hear that phrase "man among boys," you don't hear that very often. When you hear it, you know it. That's what he looked like in high school, and he played in a very good league. Okay.
See, look,
I don't know.
They're not even starting him this year.
I don't know that Texas should be 4, but they should be. I think in the top.
They're not
10.
starting Arch Manning.
Maybe they're not. Okay, but there's still 4. 4 is high for them. I think because Alabama's 5.
But wasn't Texas in the playoff last year? I think they weren't they?
I want to say yes, but I'm not sure. It was Ohio State, Michigan, Alabama, and Washington. No, they weren't. They weren't. That was the playoffs, the Final Four last year. So that's a little high. Alabama 5. I think they could be 3. But again, you know what? They lost Nick Saban. That's That's a huge loss.
Yeah.
That's a huge fucking loss. It is. So, Ole Miss 6. Yeah, they finished top 10 last year there in that league. Notre Dame 7. I'm the biggest Notre Dame fan there is, and I think that's too high. That's too high. Yes, they have a defense that's legit.
Who is that?
Notre Dame. They should not be 7. They should be in the top 25 somewhere, but they're not. 7's too high. They're the third one out of the 7. Them, Texas, and Oregon, I think, all think are too high. So anyway, then you got Michigan at 8. They may be too high because they lost a shit ton. The head coach and the quarterback. That's a shit ton. That's a shit ton to lose in 1 year.
An old shit.
Shit ton. A ton of shit. Number 9, Penn State. See, if I'm Brian, I am ready to drive up there and kill that coach myself. This guy holds them back every year. Every year that coach,
Penn State?
yeah, they're a very talented program, and that coach finds a way to fuck it up every damn year. But he wins 9, 10 games, so, and they finish in 3rd. Well, it's Michigan, it's over the Buckeye, that's not it, we'll take 3rd. No, that's not the fucking Penn State that I grew up watching. They weren't settling for that shit. So the thing is, they got to fire that coach. Because I think they should be higher. Talent-wise, Penn State could be a top 5 team from a talent perspective. They could be. 10, Florida State. Talk about a team with motivation.
Texas was in there.
Okay, who wasn't?
It was Michigan, Washington, Texas, and Alabama.
Who did I say?
I don't know. You said Texas.
Michigan? Oh, I said Ohio State. That's right. I'm sorry. My mistake. My bad.
Ohio State was probably right there.
I forgot they just fell short. I was thinking of 2 years ago when they both.
So I guess, and Texas is bringing back their QB. Arch Manning's still on the bench, so I guess maybe they will be good again.
Yeah. Well, again, they also moved to the SEC. They just went to a tougher conference. So
that could hurt them.
Yeah. So number 10, Florida State. They've got motivation, like you read about after what happened to them last year.
They lose their quarterback.
He's gonna. I think he came back because he was injured. He didn't go.
Oh, he did. I thought he got drafted by somebody.
I don't know. I think he went to draft, but he didn't go as high as he wanted to or something. I thought he went back. I could be wrong, but I think he's coming back.
You know his name?
No, I forget it.
Is it Ugalele?
I don't know.
Something like DJ?
I don't know. I literally don't know the kid's name. I just know he's tall and he's thin. Missouri is next. LSU 12, Utah 13, Clemson 14. Debo Sweeney, you need to step the fuck up, motherfucker. You've won you got to. And by the way, the grace period was earned. You won a couple of national titles. You beat Alabama when they were loaded. Yeah, no. The grace period was earned, but it's starting to get a little. You got to make a move this year. You better finish in the top 10 this year, Dabo. You don't tell me you can't get talent in that fucking state. No way. Tennessee 15, Oklahoma 16, Kansas State 17. Oh, with that one. Oklahoma State 18, Miami, the biggest frauds this side of Notre Dame 19.
Fraudulent?
The Hurricanes have been frauds for so long. And I feel bad for those legit Hurricanes that built that reputation because these kids that come along now just think they get it because they put the jersey on. No, you got to earn that. And these Miami kids have taken that reputation out for a spin like you read about. They've coasted on it. It's bullshit. And they're in a hotbed of talent too, South Florida. So no excuse there. Texas A&M 20, Arizona, NC State, USC, Kansas, Iowa. That's your top 25. That top 12 as of today is LSU, Missouri, Florida State, Penn State, Michigan, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, Alabama, Texas, Oregon, Ohio State, Georgia. That would be your playoff if that holds true. Not for nothing, dude. First round game, Georgia, LSU.
Really?
If one plays 12.
Oh.
If one plays 12. Or if they have 2 byes, which they might do that too.
LSU ranked 12th. Huh?
Yeah.
What'd you say about that?
I'm saying that there'll be them playing Georgia.
No, but I'm saying, how did you feel about LSU being 12?
They're in the ballpark. They're somewhere between 10 and 13. I think that's fair. They could finish higher. They lost a lot of receivers. Again, we'll see if they reload. I mean, that guy's an offensive guru. So We'll see how fast they reload. But I'll tell you what, Ohio State's been, LSU's been pumping out studs for like 4 or 5 years in a row now. Going back to Burrow and Jamar Chase and Jefferson. They've been pumping out some fucking dogs up down there. He's got to win it. He's got to, they'll be in the playoff. They got to win. They got to win something. He's got a national championship under his belt. He's won one before. LSU could have a lot to say about this.
The Jets drafted that kid.
They did.
Jordan Travis.
Yeah, that's
his name, right?
Yeah.
He had a season-ending injury at Florida State.
Yeah.
They had a ton of injuries, didn't they?
And then
they still almost made it in, but
they were undefeated.
Yeah.
One of the biggest.
Were they undefeated?
Yep.
No, didn't they lose one at the end?
They lost in the bowl game because none of the starters showed
that's
up.
Right.
They boycotted. Said, "Fuck you, we're not playing this game." And Georgia boat raced them.
That's
which
right.
I'm like, really, Georgia? They're missing like 15 stars.
So apparently the Jets drafted him at 171. What if he turns into a player like after Rodgers is gone? That'd be interesting. If he just sat and
that kid was a Heisman candidate before he got hurt.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'd be very careful.
Well, I think he would need probably time to develop. Just let him, kind of like with Drake May. Like Aaron Rodgers is obviously your quarterback.
This kid is more talented than Drake May.
Think so?
Yeah, he's 6'5" and runs like a fucking.
Well, they're saying that
he can throw on the run.
They're saying that the Pats have Joe Milton, who is
he's another one like that.
More, it's more explosive to see it.
He's got the arm and the speed.
Power, speed.
But I'm saying, those guys. That's if you get the right coach.
Those guys.
No, I'm saying if you get the right coach, Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, you find that dude who's as dangerous a runner as he is a thrower. Yeah, you get the right coach.
Help him unlock that potential.
Just saying. The difference is Mahomes is very selective now when he runs because he's learning from Brady. He wants to be there. So he's not running as much. He's very selective about it now. He wasn't early. Josh Allen needs to learn to be more selective. And Lamar Jackson now has the weapons. He has no more excuses.
I heard somebody say something about Drake May saying, they looked at Patriots camp hoping to see the next Patrick Mahomes, and they saw the ghost of Mac Jones.
Mac Jones made a Pro Bowl and a playoff as a rookie. I don't think this kid's doing either.
I'm not trying to pile on. It was just I thought it was. I
don't think this kid's doing either, and this kid has better coaches than he has.
I thought it was a funny line.
It's a shit.
I didn't say I agree with it.
It's an ass bag line. The ghost of Mac Jones. How about the ghost of Matt Patricia?
There we go.
Yeah, the ghost of Joe Judge.
The ghost of Bill Belichick.
The ghost of Bill Belichick. What Hall of Fame receiver? No. We're going to grab this guy with one leg.
The ghost of Tom Brady is currently haunting Bill.
As it should be.
In his sleep.
As it should be.
While he's still alive.
Yep.
And so weren't we supposed to be talking about baseball?
Baseball, we were. We went to the top 25. So, look, I like this as it holds right now, this 12, and this should be interesting.
Is Colorado anywhere near the top 25?
No, this is what I wanted to bring up. They're not even, I don't know if they're in the top 50.
God, that's disappointing.
Let's see what he brought in the interior. They were there at the skill positions, interiors where they couldn't compete. Let's see what
I really
Dion
hope he
did.
was able to recruit.
Let's see what he did between the tackles on the line of scrimmage.
Because
if he did anything,
I want him to be a good coach.
He knows what he needs.
It seems like
Dion knows football. He knows what he needs.
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm going to assume that whether it was through the portal, NIL, whatever, he was getting offensive and defensive linemen, dogs. He was trying to find those dudes. Because he knows if he gets a few of them, with what they got on the outside, shit will change. He's got to know that. I can't believe Dion doesn't know that. I would refuse to believe he doesn't know that. He's going to have to show it to me. Because I'm assuming he did it. I'm assuming he did it.
I just saw a video of him talking to the team in camp. And he was like, don't touch the quarterback. Don't touch the receivers. And leave Travis alone. He's like, I'm not trying to show favorites or nothing, but it's just the reality of what it is. Like, okay.
He isn't lying.
No, he's not lying.
One of them go down. Fucking forget it.
Yeah, don't you?
Don't.
If you hurt Travis Hunter,
Yep.
our starting corner, and wide receiver
That
one.
dude is he's another Hall of Fame potential player.
He's a walking Hall of Fame.
He's a
show.
walking Hall of Fame.
He's a Hall of Fame show.
If the kid stays healthy, that's all it is.
He's
Stays
Shohei
healthy.
Ohtani.
Yep.
He's Babe Ruth.
He could be that dude. He literally could be that dude. He's
legendary.
I'm just saying. So when Dion says don't even sneeze on him,
Dude.
Dion's 100% right.
Yeah, don't touch him.
Don't touch the merchandise. No fucking way.
Yeah, because remember when they were playing against that team, I think it was Colorado State, where the coach was a prick about Dion.
Yep.
And he was talking about, I take my shades off to talk to grown folks or
Yeah.
something like that.
The only coach.
Remember they hurt Travis Hunter in that game. It was a dirty shot. Do you remember it?
Yep.
Hit him in the ribs. And they I don't know, he cut his spleen or some shit.
Yeah, he got hurt.
Or his
It was
liver.
yeah,
Something
it was
something
a serious,
got cut. Yeah.
It was a serious injury.
Yeah. That hurt their season. Not to say they were going to be.
No, but when you don't have any margin for error, you can't lose a guy.
You lost your corner and your receiver one.
You lost your shutdown corner and your number one receiver in one shot. How many teams can say that? I mean,
maybe that's why it's not realistic for him to be that.
Well, if
he gets hurt again, they might want to think about that.
If I'm Dion, I'm picking and choosing which games I'm going to let him do both. I'm not going to just have him do it if I know I can beat it.
That's an interesting concept.
I'm just saying, if you're going to do it, you have to pick and choose. If he has to do that for 12 games again, I agree with you. I don't think he'll make it to the finish line.
No, because you're
There's
right.
just too many chances for him to get hurt.
Well, yeah. And also with fatigue comes higher risk of injury. So he's playing both sides of the ball.
Twice as many snaps.
Yeah, that's.
I'm just saying, Dion might want to be a little selective. I understand in a big game doing it where you need him, but you got to know some of these games where you go up by 3 touchdowns in the first quarter. All right, maybe that was in the game plan. He just changed it. He's not playing defense today,
Right.
Or he's not doing this. We're doing that. Maybe he scores all 3 touchdowns. You know what? Just take the rest of it. But you got to manage this, because if you try and do that with him for 12 games, he won't make it.
Yeah, that's a tough.
I don't know who would.
That's a tough way to make a living.
I'm telling you right now, those guys are very few and very far between.
Dude, even with, not to make this about baseball, but actually maybe a good transition. Even with Ohtani, as good a pitcher as he is, I'm hesitant to keep doing that with him, because that's where he seems to get injured.
Yeah.
Because he's throwing 100 miles an hour. If he ends up jacking up his elbow and now he can't hit.
I mean, maybe you just make him a closer.
Yeah, but then he's pitching. Then he could pitch, 4 times a week.
Or maybe they blow people out and he doesn't pitch once.
Yeah.
Or maybe you take him out of the lineup one night on offense because you're playing a dog, because you're the Dodgers and you're fucking loaded and you just save him for the bullpen.
That's interesting. I don't know.
There are ways to, there's ways to
I don't
do
know
this.
what would be tougher. Starting every 5th day, or
That's
popping
the thing.
into the bullpen.
Well, every 5th day is not that bad. So I think you can do it because it's every 5th day.
Yeah. But if he's getting surgery every 2 years because of it, I don't know. I'd think about it.
I'm saying you can be selective. There are games when you can do it, there are games you don't have
If
to.
they went bullpen, they could. But if they want him to be a starter, he has to stay stretched out. He's got to throw every
Then make
5th
him a
day.
middle reliever or something. And then
Oh,
you
jeez.
Spot start him. But then he can throw a couple days a week, to your point.
It'd be interesting because, if he was playing right field, I think they'd have to slot somebody back out there.
I'm just saying you can get creative and figure a way out to do this if you want to continue to do it. I'm just saying.
I think easier in football.
I'm saying with Dion.
In
with
football, I think it's much more logical.
Yeah, with Dion, it's hard. It's harder to do in football.
I don't think so.
There's 162 games in baseball. You have a lot of room here. Football, 1 loss is like 8 losses.
Yeah, but
like,
the way pitching and hitting, it's a
I'm just
lot
saying,
different. It takes a
in
toll on your
football,
body in a different way.
But it's still not a collision sport like football.
Yeah, but
You're less likely to get hurt playing baseball. That's why they can play that many games.
I'm not saying physically it's harder.
Yeah.
I'm saying you wouldn't be able to do, because in football, either way he's running. He's covering or he's running routes.
I'm just saying with Dion, I'm saying if I'm his coach and I'm looking at their schedule, and if I've added the right pieces, there's ways to do this. I think there are games where you probably need him to play both ways.
Right.
But there are games when you can get away without him on one side of the ball. I'm saying there's ways to do that.
No, I'm saying I like what you're saying here. I think
it would be smart.
that sport would be easier to do.
And by the way, now where there's a 12-team playoff, just get in.
Right.
And then you can fucking do that with him for 4 playoffs. I mean, just saying. because now you have a little more margin for error. Is all I'm saying. So
You can test it.
you can. Because look, this kid's a unicorn. He's one. There's not another kid in college football doing this.
You just want to protect him because if
he's
you can
not
only play 6 games,
again,
it's
there's not a playbook for how to do this.
No.
Because guys like this don't come along very often.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You got to find a happy
Interesting.
medium somewhere. But there's no textbook way to do this. Last time you saw a guy like this, his name was Babe Ruth. Like Christ's sake, seriously.
Shohei Ohtani.
I'm saying, since Babe Ruth, you haven't seen him. But I'm saying in football with this kid, like Deion Sanders is the last guy that did this, and he didn't do
receiver?
it in the NFL. He did. He played
really
when he played for the Cowboys. He played receiver as well.
He didn't do shit, did he?
Yeah, he caught touchdowns.
No way.
But he was the third option. It was Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper, and then you got him in the slot, which is pretty devastating. And it worked. They won a Super Bowl doing it. He played both ways. But again, he'd be out there for like a handful of plays on offense, like maybe 10 to 15 plays. Always in a passing situation. Because why not?
They run him on reverses or something?
They could do it. They put him in the slot, and you can run tosses, sweeps to him, reverses, draws, anything, or you can send him out into the pad underneath the coverage. Because what can Deion do? He can take a 5-yard out and turn it into an 80-yard touchdown. So
True.
That's how they used him, and it worked. So there has been. It's just I'm saying they're rare.
Yeah.
They're fucking rare. So Deion's got to play this one close to the vest.
I really want to see him do well. I want to root for somebody.
I want to see him do well.
I know.
I think if he can turn that, I mean, listen, and by the way, there's some serious pro-level talent on that fucking roster.
I hope so.
There is, from his son to that kid to the other kid on the other side. They got some horses. If he can find some guys like that that play on the offensive defensive line, watch out. Watch out.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to hope for. Anyway, switching to baseball. We wasted 20 minutes on that. It wasn't a waste. I'm glad we talked about it. First college football talk.
Good conversation.
Good conversation. But
usually I don't hold up in those conversations but at this point in the season, like I'm not too far behind.
No, but the 12-team playoff changes everything.
It changes
transformational. Everything.
It's transformational.
I am just excited about thinking about what this 12 could look like. Oh my God!
Think of the.
This is. Oh.
Think of the different type of playoff experience we're going to get this year. It's going to be several weekends in a row, right?
March Madness on a football field.
Right? Isn't it several weekends?
4 weeks. It's like March Madness is 3 weeks.
Does anybody get a bye though?
Well, this is the thing with the 12
Does
team
the 1 and 2 get a bye?
What they would probably do is, this is the thing.
Or everybody's got to play, right?
Well, no, because you're going to have an odd number at some point, unless you do have it. The first 2 teams have to get a bye in a 12-team scenario. Because what you do is, because the numbers just work out better that way. Because once you go from 12 to 6, you're going to have a problem. You go from 6 to 3? Then what do you do in that scenario? Where if everybody plays, but if you give the top 2 seeds a bye, that does not happen. Okay, you come up with an even number.
You need a final 4, not a final 6.
Not an alarming 3. Like
you need a final 6.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we've got a 3 on 1.
We got a 3. Yeah.
What
do you do with that? So no, the top 2 teams will get a bye.
Okay.
Which will be cool. And so just thinking about.
So then will it be 2 weekends of playoffs, a week off, and then the championship?
Maybe, like a Super Bowl, 2
weeks off. Is that how it works?
If you go, so in that scenario, 3 plays 12.
So you have 5 games.
I think 3 plays 12, 4 plays 11, 5 plays 10.
No, there's no 11.
6 plays.
There's no 11.
There's no 11.
There's only 10.
If it's I'm
so
sorry.
you get a bye.
I'm sorry.
So you got to start at 10.
Oh, you start at 10.
Then you'd have 5 games.
No, that doesn't work right.
Why?
Because in your second round, you have 5 teams left. That's not right. It can't be 1 through. How do they do this?
No.
This is the
so
wrong
there's 5.
time.
Look, there's 5 games, 10 teams.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you're done.
It's gonna be 5 winners.
No. Once you're done.
If there's 5 games and 2 teams, one winner's gonna be 5 winners. Then what do you do?
Okay.
Then what do you do?
Then you bring in the other 2.
Then you have 7.
No, but they go.
They go.
They each split up. They each split up. One goes to the south.
Your
One
face.
goes to the east. One goes to the west.
Your fucking face. Oh my god, that was great.
Oh man.
Oh my god, I love it. That's on tape.
I'm so lost.
The look on your face when you
I'm
came
so
to
lost. They go. They go.
Wait a minute.
Oh man.
Oh god, that's beautiful. That's
Okay, so if you had 5 winners, then you added 2 teams to the mix. Now you'd have 7, and now you
I'm
can't
just trying
play.
to figure out how.
Why is this so
It
hard?
could be this hard. Maybe 4 teams get a bye.
So it's 8. So it's 8 teams, 4 games.
So then you'd have
8
4
teams.
left to face 4. Maybe that's
what it is.
That's got to be it, right?
We've done it.
Ha ha!
Or-
25 minutes to figure it out. We were talking about it for 20 minutes.
Oh man, yeah, that is interesting because
It would have to be the
top
top 4.
12 is what's making this.
Yeah, but the top 4 get a bye, and then you have those bottom 8 teams play each other. 4 come out and face the top 4. That's got to be the way it's done. That's the only way to mathematically do it. He doesn't believe me. That's the best part about it. There's no other way to do it. You can't give 3 a bye. It's got to be 4. It's got to be 4.
This is gonna be. Oh man. Okay,
Doesn't want to believe me.
let's see. Why is this like so mind-numbing? Come on already.
Big Pipey is the reigning MVP for a reason, boys and girls. This would be Exhibit A.
Okay, so now we're going to explain the college playoff. For anybody who doesn't know what it is, because
Like Tom.
no, I know it's a 12-teamer,
I'm just kidding.
but here you might not know
I
some
can't
of
get
this.
past this.
What they go this way.
That was
All right, so here you might not know about this.
okay.
The 12 playoff participants consist of the 5 highest-ranked conference champions,
Yes.
plus the next 7 highest-ranked teams.
So 5 automatic bids. So there's
Yep.
5 automatic bids. You win the conference championship, you get an automatic bid. That's what he's saying. Of the Power 5.
And
Okay.
here comes the exciting part. You'll be happy to hear.
Okay.
The 4 highest-ranked conference champions will be seeded 1 through 4 and receive a first-round bye. Ding, 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 ding.
The Donut Lord.
The schools seeded 5 through 8 will host those seeded 9 through 12 in first-round games.
It's the power of the amulet. It's the power of the amulet.
It is.
It is.
The quarterfinals and semifinals rotate annually
I gotta get Tom one of these.
among
Yeah,
6 bowl games. Okay, we don't really care what bowl games they are.
They're using the sites like March Madness.
So this year's quarterfinals will take place on December 31st and January 1st.
Okay.
Wow, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day.
Damn, that's awesome. That's good
The
planning.
semifinals will be on January 9th and 10th.
Okay. Like a Final Four. A
So
Final
8
Four.
days after.
That's a Final Four deal.
Okay, yep.
That's fucking glorious.
And then the college playoff national
This is
championship
gonna
will be
be-
Monday the 20th.
This is gonna be.
So it's
fucking-
3 weeks.
This is
I wish it
gonna
was 4 weeks, but it's 3.
This is gonna
If
be
they go to 16 teams, then we'll get 4
Then
weeks.
you'll get 4 weeks, which I think they eventually will do. But anyway, this is not awesome.
This is nice.
This is nice.
The only thing I wish we didn't have to wait for New Year's Eve for it to start. I think the quarterfinals could start before
I'll
Christmas.
tell you what's cool about that though. It gives every team a chance to get healthy.
Yeah. It gives them a month.
It gives them a month to get healthy. And by the way, that's fair. If this is the one way you can actually do
Yeah,
it,
because
make
you're
it
getting
fair.
ready to play potentially
for a
3
championship.
games.
Yeah, for a national
Some of these
championship.
teams need to play 3
Yeah.
games to win.
And by the way, this would be the coolest thing ever because everybody gets a month to get well. If you can't get well in a month, you're not getting well. Right? You're not going to play. But that gives you a chance to get as many people healthy as possible to give it your best shot. That's fucking awesome. And every team is going to get it. That's fair. I love that.
And then there's baseball.
He's not the best segue man in the league. Oh,
Man, there's transitions, and then there's transitions.
Talk about jumping tracks.
Now,
Just like,
you know, I mean, talk about being real smooth with the transition.
Tom was like, parachute? Who needs a parachute? Jumps out the plane.
There's baseball to talk about.
Well, I'm going to land on.
Well, the best part is that
Land.
at 19 minutes, you said, Jesus Christ, we wasted 20 minutes talking about this. Let's talk about baseball. 10 minutes later, we're talking about.
You know why? It was the 12-team
football
playoff format that rattled
it
us.
It was.
That rattled us.
Yeah. Well, we started thinking, well, how are they going to do it? How many weeks are we going to get?
That was a fucking... They rattled us.
Well, that was fun to find all that out.
It was a justifiable rattling. And by the way...
You kept a steady head.
How many of you really knew it, though?
A lot of people did.
A lot of people did. I think it's been explained to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So...
It was a conversation that needed to be had.
I think it had to happen.
In public.
I think we just... And you know what? You're going to avoid the embarrassment for us.
That's right.
So you're going to know how... When you're at a party, how is this done? You're going to be the one that knows.
Top 4?
Yep.
Bye.
You're going to look like the fucking... Like Lee Corso. You. Kirk Herbstreit. You.
Kirky boy.
Kirky boy. Okay, Mr. Herbstreit. And then you get to go, oh, yeah, look it up, asshole. You think I'm lying? Then he looks it up, and you're like, donkey. Donkey. Look, a donkey. Who brought the donkey?
Then I think, at that point, you probably send them a link to this episode.
Yep.
Tell them it was right around minute, 27, 29, 30?
You figured it out?
No.
Was it 21 or 2? No.
I can't remember what I'm talking about.
The 12-team format.
Yeah, but I don't know why I'm talking about the time on this episode.
I don't know either. Why are you?
Oh, I'm talking about when you said out loud the top 4 teams. Because remember, we started saying, the top 2 teams.
Trying to figure it out.
Then we realized that wouldn't work. And then you were like, it's got to be the top 4.
It's got to be 4.
So I was saying, if they're in an argument with somebody, send them a link to this video and say at minute 25, whenever it was that you said
the highly questionable one answered the question.
Look, when things were getting chaotic and we were flustered, he kept a cool head. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm not going to give him any credit for that. I'm going to give credit to the almighty weed
where credit is due.
In his system.
He's right over my right shoulder. Right. The MVP.
Big Pipey himself. Along with that.
Have you ever seen a higher batting average?
No.
I don't think so.
And the RISP? Dude, runners in scoring position?
There's a segue.
Clutch.
That's a segue right there.
It was.
That's a fucking segue.
It was. Runners in scoring position.
Yep. Who's coming up? Shit.
Exactly.
Yep.
And Big Pipey is kind of like the trade deadline guy you wish your team would acquire.
Oh, God, yeah.
Every year when you got a chance. Yep. And you acquire that. One time the Mets got Yoenis Cespedes. Oh, my God. He was like fucking God for 2 months. And they rode him to a playoff.
The dude where even the most cynical, dare I say pessimistic fan goes, shit.
He's going to get a hit here.
We got something. We are now a contender. Holy, he's that dude.
That's Pipey.
That's Pipey. He's that dude.
He's Hall of Fame.
He makes you a
He's
contender.
a walking Hall of Fame show.
I agree. If he could walk. That's what
barring injury, barring shatterment.
Oh, God, don't say that. I have nightmares about that. I've had 2 nightmares, not for nothing.
It's going to be legendary.
Where Big Pipey was shattered.
Barring shatterment, it's going to be Hall of Fame.
You know who did it? In the dream.
Was it me?
No.
Mia?
No. Yeah, it was me and Anthony. They're fighting over something, and they bump this, and the thing goes, and all of a sudden it slows down, and I'm standing.
Well, you don't leave this out, right?
No, I'm standing. It's a dream. It was out somehow. I would never.
I know. I was just.
But in the dream, it's there, and it's hidden, so you can't see it. They don't know. They're fighting, and they bump into this, and you just see it. And I'm out there, and I'm talking to him and Brian, and you see me turn. And I go, and I slow down, and it's like, no.
And then it goes to me, and the time comes back normal. And I go, what was that? And then you go,
actually,
it was Pipey, God damn it!
You don't say anything, you just kind of close your eyes like,
shake my head.
Please tell me that isn't what I think it is.
Please tell me that's not Pipey.
He's not laughing, he looks like he's about to start crying.
Well, it's kind of like,
please tell me that's not what I think.
Sean Penn in Mystic River when he finds out it's his daughter. It's the same reaction.
I don't disagree with that.
I mean, perfect parallel.
I don't disagree with that.
Is that my Pipey in there? Is that my Big Pipey?
Oh, God. That hurts just thinking about it. That was one of the worst scenes in movie, like saddest scenes in movie history.
Yes! When they're holding him down?
You're as a dad going, oh, it's like the worst nightmare. as a father. That is your worst effing nightmare. And he's playing it out, and you're sitting there going, you're not laughing. You're like, oh, fuck. That's what's going through your head.
I don't know if I said it like that.
That's what was going through my head. Instantly thought of my kids.
Oh, fuck. I don't think it was.
Only I did say fuck.
I didn't say fudge.
I didn't say fudge. I said fuck.
All right, so
So
where are we right now?
we're in baseball. We had segued through the Big Pipey's MVP
Oh,
performance.
that's right.
Especially with runners in scoring position.
Transition to the Mets in St. Louis today.
Bending over the card.
The Mets in St. Louis today did lay the wood 6-0 after losing a series to the Angels, which felt like a step back, and we haven't had a chance to talk about.
I was worried about him. I'm not going to lie. Today
I didn't go off the deep end.
but I was a little concerned.
Yeah.
I wasn't panicking, but I could feel. I could feel from the office, mind you, the tension in the air between he and I.
All right, here's what happens.
I wanted.
When the Mets lose, you feel that?
I wanted to check on him,
Is
but
it
I was
palpable?
like, should I check on him?
Is the tension palpable?
Maybe I should leave him alone. I don't know what to do.
I'm asking you a question. Is the tension palpable?
I think so. I don't know.
Well, like
worried.
they have all season, the Mets bounce back.
I was concerned.
Look, like they have all season, the Mets bounce back. They beat the Cardinals in St. Louis, 6-2 Nadzies.
He hates the Cardinals.
Oh, yeah, I hate the Cardinals.
This is the other thing.
Can't stand them.
It's almost like the team knew. No, we can't just beat. We got to
We
the
gotta
Cardinals.
destroy them.
And we got to do it to the Cardinals in St. Louis.
No, but I'll say
'Cause
this.
Tom,
I'll say this about my attitude with the Mets. I've actually started following more positive people on Twitter, and it's actually helped me because they're not fake positive.
No.
When the Mets lose, they do get pissed and they act a little crazy, and then the next day they go, "I don't want to hear this shit that the season's over. We can do this," as if like they didn't go nuts the night
They go
before.
the opposite way.
Right, which I love because it's the pure roller coaster.
Because
that
they
is
realize
fandom.
I have to reverse this.
Exactly. They're like, I'm not going to be this negative.
No.
You know.
It's not over yet.
But like you get mad in the moment, and when you share those thoughts, they're going to be a little negative.
I'm famous for this.
But when you wake up the next day, you have a cooler head about yourself. You say, let's go to fucking St. Louis and beat this team. They're behind us in the standings, right behind us. So Manaea went in there, 7 innings, 10 Ks, 0 walks, 0 runs.
10 Ks?
10 Ks, no walks, 7 innings.
That's impressive.
Second start in a row, 7 innings, 10 Ks, by the way.
I don't care who it is. Those numbers are
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
7 innings, shutout, 10 strikeouts, no walks.
No walks. And here's another thing. Stud Muffin Mendoza.
Stud Muff.
Mendy, as they call
His
him in the
street name
dugout.
is Stud Muff.
Stud Muff.
Stuff.
Now, Mendy, as they call him in the locker room,
Stuff
talk
Muff.
about pulling some strings, okay? Hitting kind of sucked over the weekend, so he puts Tyrone Taylor in the 2 spot.
Stud Muff put eyes on it.
He puts Tyrone Taylor in the 2 spot, which is not really a lineup we've seen.
Put eyes on it.
And everybody's like, Tyrone Taylor in the 2 hole. Tyrone Taylor comes up with the bases loaded, bases clearing double.
Stud Muff.
That's a manager going, hey, let's see if this gives us a spark, and boom,
That's a
here comes
manager
fire.
who knows his roster and knows how to manipulate it.
I think he's also not scared to try things.
No, that's key.
And I've
He should
seen
be
that.
Stud Muff.
I've seen that in prior Mets teams where they're batting the same 1 through 6 every night, even when they're slumping to the fucking Great Wall of China and back. Okay, and they just stick with, nope, that's my 1 hitter, that's my 2 hitter, that's my 3 hitter. Not Mendy, okay, not Stud Muff.
Not Stud Muff.
He goes, you know what? We haven't hit in the past 6 games. Let me tinker with this lineup. And maybe he puts it back tomorrow. But I love that about him. I also love some of the things that were said today by the players. So they asked Harrison Bader, oh, is it tough, being in Anaheim last night and then having to rush out to St. Louis and now you got to rush out to Colorado? And Harrison Bader said, I mean, we took a poll and I don't think any of us would want to have it any other way. And he was like, nobody cares. He was like, the game doesn't care, so why should we care? He was like, we're all just, we're enjoying it, and it's a time for us to come together and play better. And I was like, holy shit. You talk about locker room culture and message.
Stud Muff.
Stud Muff, yes. There is quite the culture. And like, you hear that type of shit from every guy on the team. Tyrone Taylor one night, I think he might have the game-winning home run, or he had a great night. And they said, "What was your favorite moment of the night? With all the things you did?" Because I think he had 2 homers, right? And you know what he said?
What?
He was like, "The win."
The win.
So they were like, "Yeah, but what was your favorite moment of something you did?" He was like, "Win."
Win.
I was like, that's
as a fan, that's
pretty cool.
That's a wet dream. As a fan, you pray your team says that. You
It's
rarely
pretty
hear
awesome.
it. You rarely hear it. So when you hear it, you know it. It's like that. Oh, thank God they're not like that. Or they're not dicks. They're not like fucking. They're not prima donnas. They're not cocky. They're not. These guys actually
just
get
like
it.
tough, hardworking guys,
kids
like
that don't look past the hurdle in front of them.
You got to respect that.
And don't take what they're doing for granted. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And real fans appreciate that because we're so used to not seeing it. And the thing is, the more talented the kid is, the more likely it is for it to happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's inspiring when you see guys like that.
When you see a team like that,
yeah, it's cool.
yes,
It's cool.
yes. Even as an adversary, you respect that.
Yeah.
Because you know that's winning culture.
Yeah.
So
And even though, look, they're making tons of money, but to see people go, yeah, I'm making tons of money, but I'm working my ass off. If somebody's paying them for what they're doing,
they
and
understand.
they're giving everything they have
That's
to
right.
it,
They understand they're paying me this. I
Can't
gotta
hate on
bust
that,
my ass
yeah.
all the time.
Can't hate on
And
that
by
at
the
all.
way, a similar thing is happening in Boston. Everybody knows how great Alex Cora is. He's won a World Series as a manager. He's the one as a player. He's the guy. Could talk about command of the locker room. Yeah, him.
Yeah.
So similar story.
He's more proven though than Mendy.
He is
This
more
is Mendy's
proven.
first job.
Yeah, but I'm saying this. The similarities are there.
Hmm.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to jinx Mendy, but the similarities are there.
Yeah.
Kind of there.
No, I mean you got to be.
So,
Mendy he was the bench coach for the Yankees for a long time,
So he comes from a winning culture.
and in
He
the
does.
off season, everybody wanted us to get what the fuck's his name. He was the Brewers. He was the Brewers manager. He ended up burning the Brewers for the Cubs, which is interdivision. And he used us. Apparently, we made him a high offer, and he used us to get leverage because he wanted to go to Chicago,
Is that right?
and he got like a really big contract.
Huh.
I don't know why. Craig Counsell. He was like a feisty second baseman as a player. Now he's a manager. And see, we got Milwaukee's president of baseball operations.
Yeah.
He's been GMing our team.
Yeah.
So everybody assumed he would bring Craig Counsell with them, but we didn't get him, and they ended up picking Mendoza, the bench coach of the Yankees, which to me was a risky pick.
Yeah.
Because if it goes south, everybody just goes, "Oh, how could you have picked the Yankee bench coach? I can't believe you would do that."
Yeah.
But David Stearns made a baseball decision, which is refreshing.
Yeah.
That you're not making decisions based on what people around you think.
Exactly.
You're making the decisions you think is right.
Yeah.
When you see somebody bring in a coach because it's like, it's a name, fuck that. If it's not the right fit, I don't give a fuck what your name is.
Yeah. The name is the least important of that. It's to his point. It's the guy who's gonna build the culture,
Right.
hold everyone accountable, be fair. Okay. But again, not to takes the gloves off and lets them play.
Yeah.
There's a line there, and the good ones know where it is, and they're careful not to cross it, but they know
Yeah.
they can dance on it. They know how to do it.
Yeah.
And he seems like he has that quality in him so
Yeah.
far. Again, it's early,
Yeah.
but it looks
it's his
so
first
far.
season.
It's his first season.
And
But-
look, Buck Showalter had a great 2021,
yeah,
and then 2022 was a nightmare. Or maybe was
just saying.
it 2023?
he seems
last
to have a pulse of his team. He's not afraid to move things around when he knows, because he knows his roster. He knows what
Yeah.
guys can and can't do. The fact that he made that move told you he knew something about that kid to put him in that spot. That
Oh,
wasn't,
yeah.
He didn't just,
No,
oh,
it wasn't
let's figure
willy-nilly.
that- No, it was not
wasn't
willy-nilly.
willy-nilly.
That was calculated.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about him. He can let you play, but he's calculating. That's what I'm saying. He's got some traits here.
Yeah, I like it.
I like him. I do. He's good for them. So,
Yeah.
look, and with Alex Cora, who's been kind of that guy for 5 years, whatever it is, whenever he's been around, he's always
Alex
been,
Cora is legit.
he's legit.
He's got a World
And,
Series.
yeah, as a player and as a manager,
Yeah.
he knows. And he's not afraid to pull the trigger either. And he lets his guys play. I'm just telling you. And the Red Sox go on the road tonight. They take care of Kansas City in game 1 of a big 3-game set. 9-5, 18 hits. I mean, come on the road.
Spank the shit out of
18 hits, 9 runs. They still have too many guys in scoring position, but I mean,
Allow me to take my victory lap on this one.
yeah. So
Now they just have to finish up the job,
so
win tomorrow night.
yeah. So I mean, the thing is, they got talent up and down the roster, and it's young. And
athletic.
And athletic as fuck.
It's not your stereotypical baseball
This is not
talent.
the Red Sox I grew up on. And I'm okay with that because Alex Cora is looking at his talent and he's like, this is how we can win with this type of talent. That's a great manager.
Yeah.
He's adjusting to his talent. It's not my way or the highway. But when they won the World Series in 2018, that team was not built like this. It wasn't. It had talent up and down the roster, but they didn't win like this.
Yeah.
This team has 4 guys with over 20 stolen bases in the starting lineup. Are you fucking kidding me? The Red Sox have never had a lineup like this. Never. So kudos to him and Theo Epstein for doing what they do best. Okay? So we'll see what happens with it. But a great win tonight. Devers went a quiet 2 for 4. Duran only had one.
2 for 4.
Quiet, yeah. But this is Duran 1 for 5, but 3 RBIs. Freaking Wong.
They have a
2
bases
for 5.
loaded double? Cleared him?
Well, it was a 2-out double. It was a 2-out double.
Was it with
2-run
the
double.
bases lo- oh,
It was
2-run.
tied. It was tied at 2 outs, and he hit a 2-run double.
Okay.
And they never
So he did something else for the other
He had another RBI, probably a sac fly. He only had 1 hit. So Yoshida, the DH went 4 for 5. Cigar
Scored
second,
2 runs.
Yep, Cigar at second base. Who the fuck is he? 2 for 5. Fucking Hamilton 2 for 5 with a ribby. I mean, and then Raphael at the bottom of the 9-hitter goes 2 for 4. Balance. I mean, so
Wong went 2 for 5 out of the catcher.
yeah. They had.
Dude, you're getting 303 out of your catcher.
Yeah, I'm saying the catcher's Wong's crazy.
Catchers that hit 300, do you know how many of them
It's
exist in the
rare.
past
Pudge.
20 years?
Pudge was the last one.
Piazza was like
Piazza
that.
was that like? Yeah, but he was before
Pudge,
Pudge, right?
yeah, Pudge.
Who's since Pudge? I think there's one. I
I
don't
don't
know.
think Yachty was 300 some years, but he was defensively a monster too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been some good hitting catchers, but it's not. It's a rare thing. And now it's even more rare. You have catchers that swing for the fences.
Yeah.
You know.
So to have a guy who bats 300 in that spot, because it's usually 7 or 8, maybe 6 if you're lucky. But you know where they put him tonight? They put him in the 6th spot. 6th spot.
He went 2 for 5 with 2
RBIs
RBIs.
in the 6th spot.
Scored a run.
Yeah. So this is what Alex Cora can do, and that's why they're in contention right now. So look, this is a pleasant surprise. I didn't think there's no way in hell we'd be sitting here on August 5th talking about the Red Sox in a pennant race.
And look, they traded for that pitcher, Paxton.
Yep.
He gave him 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, walked 1. Like, that's what you wanted to get an ace. But these guys can help your team down the stretch. They will help you stay in and hopefully win a wild card race.
They can.
Because depth in starting pitching
is huge,
must have.
especially in a season this long. It's inevitable you're going to go through some bumps and bruises.
Paxton's now 9-3. If he can give you 6 innings, 2-3 runs every time,
I'll take that.
With the offense y'all have.
If he can hold an opponent to 2 or 3 runs a game, I won't bitch. And give you 6
No.
innings, I won't bitch.
Yeah.
Because with this lineup, they'll win most.
That's
of
all
those
he
games.
needs to do.
With this lineup, they'll win most of those games. So kudos to them for bouncing back. Actually, they took 2 out of 3 from what's their nuts over the weekend. Who was it? Who did they beat before this?
Texas?
Texas.
Was it Texas?
Yeah, they took 2 out of 3 in Texas before they came up.
They needed to do that.
They did. So they walked in here needing to win that, and they realized it because this was the big one. They didn't look past Texas.
Yeah.
They took 2 out of 3 in Texas.
Yeah, because Texas, while they've played they haven't played well this year. They also lost a big portion of their rotation, but they still have studs on that team.
They can hit the ball.
So if you go in there,
they can hit the ball.
Yeah, I think the Mets took 2 out of 3 there.
Yeah, another team in contention. I'm just saying, this is the thing about both these teams. They're similar in a lot of ways. Manager is one of them. So, anyway, it's nice to be able to have this conversation on August 5th. Because I thought I'd be laughing at them on August 5th and figuring out, are they trading Devers now? What are they going to do?
They look good,
and Devers is playing like an MVP. If it wasn't for fucking what's his nuts there in New York, fucking
Judge.
The judge, this Devers would be a serious MVP candidate right now. Because he's out hitting everyone but him. So,
Yeah, he's got great numbers.
He's got great numbers. He's earning his money. So
It's so nice to look at so many people in the lineup like with good averages. So Duran's hitting 295.
That kid.
Abreu in right field 274. Yoshida's 277. Devers is 307. Wong is 303.
Yeah.
Then it drops off a little with Dom Smith. But you guys are about to get Casas back.
Casas back.
And I saw a couple videos of him in the minors hitting a double. That guy's actually pretty good.
You brought him up before.
Yeah, because they were missing him
In fact,
all year.
You made me look him up. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Well, don't you? I think you would remember from last year. We liked him. He hit a couple bombs, I think, against the Mets.
This is the big pipey effect all over. I'm not complaining.
But look, he's better than Dom Smith, and you guys are doing what you're doing with Dom Smith. So
I swear, I never see him do anything. He always does stuff I stop watching.
yeah, he's not a great player, but he's a plug-in like. You
But he had 2 hits tonight.
Right, you need a guy to play first base.
I saw neither of them. I saw all 3 when he fucking did.
He had 1 hit.
I had one.
He had 1 hit.
One more than I thought.
Scored a run. He was 1 for 3, 2 Ks.
That's not bad. 2 Ks. Yeah, I saw the 2 Ks.
But he's your backup first base. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
It's not.
You
It's
have
for
to say,
that.
If your backup first baseman hits
Goes 1 for 3?
333, you're not going to bitch about it.
Yeah. Well, he's hitting 238, but
No, I'm
that's
saying,
beside
but
the
in the
point.
game.
I know.
So
Um,
you got a hit out of him. That's
Yeah.
more than I thought you'd get. So anyway,
that's a nice lineup right now.
it is. So we'll see what happens.
Your pitching just has to be solid.
They're going to regret not getting it.
4 runs. If your pitching holds a team to 4 runs a game, I
They're
guarantee
going to
you.
regret not getting an ace. I'm just telling you right now. Doesn't mean they won't get in the playoffs,
Yeah.
but that's going to be their downfall. They didn't get an ace. See, they can't win the World Series like this.
Yeah.
They can't. There's no hope of a Cinderella. Had
And-
they got
and
an
see,
ace, there'd have been a glimmer of
To
hope.
me, they mustn't have felt like they could have gotten to the World Series by making the trade. It must have involved pieces from this team.
We don't know if they ever picked up the phone. Common sense
other
tells
people
you
probably did.
Yeah, common sense tells you somebody picked them with those 2 kids out there. Don't tell me they didn't make a phone call just to see what.
But maybe they felt like, look, there's no way in fuck I'm trading any 3 of the guys who are contributing right
if
now.
they asked for starters, and I'm the Red Sox, no.
Yeah, because then you fault. You know what I'm saying?
You're not getting better. That's why I say give them your top 2 or 3 prospects because they're not actually in the lineup right now.
But here's my thing: if that's what they were asking for and they said no, they can't really have regrets because I think
the Red
the
Sox did
foundation they
that-
have right now.
If the Sox had a chance to get the 25-year-old for their time, didn't take it, fuck them.
Even if they said we need Duran back.
No, you're not. I'm saying if Duran's out of the
But that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying
what if the
if-
cost was guys
No,
like
if
that?
they said someone out of the starting lineup, I agree. I just said no, don't do
Right.
it. I said if the offer was 2 draft picks, or they asked for the Red Sox, and the Red Sox said no,
Sure.
then I'm going to be pissed.
Nobody asked for draft picks.
Well, no, they're 2 top prospects. The 2 kids that are, who are your 2 best right now?
Right.
If they asked,
If that's all it was?
if they asked for that, and the Red Sox said no, I will kill someone.
I think the
Honestly.
price was higher than that.
I'm not saying it wasn't, but for your top 2 prospects, it's not know That's not nothing
I know
either.
it's not nothing, but like
So,
less Scott. Like I think Chaz.
give us you said
sorry.
top 2 and like my 60 by 7.
Jazz Chisholm. He got traded for 4 prospects, and he's not an ace.
Just saying.
You might have had to give up 7 prospects to get that ace.
For the 25-year-old, I would have. Because the whole roster's young.
Yeah, but if
you
he
have
blows,
the
but
time.
if he blows his arm out,
You have the time
You
to
give-
rebuild
you just
your farm
gave away
system.
7
You know
guys.
why? Because your core is young. It's all below 27. It is. If you got that kid. You have 5 years to rebuild the farm system. You'd have that kind of time because they'd be in contention every year.
yeah, but by the time that happens, these guys are going to be coming out of their contracts. Now you got to figure
Well,
out.
then you
who
got to
pay.
pick and choose. Well, that depends on how you build your farm system. Maybe you can live. You can replace them. This is where
But
the
maybe
Theo
if you
Epsteins
maybe
of the
if you
world.
don't give away the farm, then this year they don't win it, but next year they're actually a true contender by the end of the year. True contender.
If you add a 25-year-old ace to a team that is currently 1 game out of the wild card,
You're a true contender.
you're a true contender.
Yeah.
Right fucking now. So no. And again, there's no right or wrong answer. It really depends on where you're from, what you believe. If I have a team like this right now, especially with the Yankees and the fucking Baltimore Orioles faltering, where you can steal it, like Give me that fucking. Get them on the phone right now. What's it gonna take? I'll give him my whole fucking farm. I don't give a shit. He's 25. Fucking, I'll do it. Because I'll have 5 or 6. And I have Theo Epstein. Who's better at building a farm system than Theo Epstein? And you'll have 5 years to do it? Yes. All fucking day, yes. All fucking day, yes.
Maybe Theo said don't do it.
If he did, then he's not as smart as I think he is. Because that kid,
you would
it's
think,
so
look,
hard to find an ace.
A young ace? Yeah.
A 25-year. How many of those are out there?
Maybe they don't believe in him.
If he can do that with that team around him, what can he do with this one?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I think the asking price must have been some of these legit guys up here.
And if that's what they asked for, no, you don't do it.
I mean, what if they asked for Connor Wong and a prospect?
I don't know. I love Connor.
You got to catch your bat in 300.
You know how hard it is to find a guy like that?
What if they asked for just Jared Durant straight up?
No. No, that kid's the future of this team. Him and Devers are the core you build around. I really believe it. Him and Devers are the core you build around. Those two. They got the right attitude. I'm just telling you. That's the two you build your core around.
What if they asked for Casas, Rafaela, and a couple prospects?
You pointed out Rafaela too.
Well, he's
gotten. It's funny. This is the one guy he didn't jinx, because since he mentioned his name, he was batting like 202. He's gone up.
Who did I jinx?
You didn't jinx him. He's ascended.
Yeah, but you said he's the one guy I didn't jinx.
Yeah.
I always talk highly of these guys.
That's not what I mean. You mean well. You just you're trying to jinx them.
Looks like Rafaela didn't play.
It's not intentional. Like my brother Pete would intentionally try to jinx my teams.
First of all,
he was a donkey.
We know jinxes are not real.
Have you met Pete?
They're not real.
Pete has personally jinxed the Patriots on 4 occasions.
Jinxing comes from.
You want me to tell you what 4 they were?
Not being able to accept defeat.
You want me to tell you what 4 they were?
That's what jinxing
They weren't
comes from.
little ones either. They were mushroom clouds. They were fucking mushroom clouds. Starting with the 2 Super Bowls they lost to the fucking Giants. He predicted the Pats in a rout in both of them. That's a true story.
Dude, so did everybody on fucking ESPN.
No, that's not true at all.
Yes, it is.
Especially not the second time. No way.
The first time, nobody thought the Giants were going to win that game.
No, but it wasn't like a 15-point spread either, because they played the first time was a 3-point game.
Well,
no one thought it was going to be a blowout.
It was probably 7 points.
I don't think it was that much.
No?
No, because they played before, and it was a field goal.
Yeah, but Bill Belichick, when he's got 2 weeks.
Oh, by the way, Tom Brady was in a fucking boot for 2 weeks, and they knew it.
All right, enough with the excuses.
No excuse. He played. 266 yards and a touchdown for one leg. That's pretty fucking good with that front 4.
What Super Bowl was the first one?
52. Anyway, how did we get here?
It was -4.5.
Yeah, it was close.
So that is fairly close.
It was close. So,
but see, I still look at that as like
they played
one of the best upsets I've ever witnessed.
Of course you do. You're a Giants fan.
Yeah.
Wow, a Giants fan?
No,
hey, RJ, where would you rate that Red Sox-Yankees thing? Greatest comeback I've ever seen.
I believe that is the greatest. I'm not biased against that.
No, the difference is
that's the best one.
It happens to be true.
But I'm not being biased about that. Why are you saying I'm being biased about this?
The greatest, well, to this day, the greatest upset ever is the Jets beating the Colts, Super Bowl 3, because Namath called it.
I didn't see that.
Namath called it. You don't have to see it. The fucking guy told the world.
I'm talking about that I've seen.
You know how many guys call their shot and get it right? Not many.
Great.
Well, he did it on the biggest stage.
So anybody can fucking say
against the reigning dynasty.
Anybody can say it. Then if you win, you sound great. If you lose, you're just one of the bums that said it and didn't predict it.
He is the one of the handful in all of sports that did this.
Okay.
In our lifetime.
Look, nothing
before our lifetime.
I'm talking about best underdog win, best upset.
It wasn't a big upset because they almost beat him the first time they played him. If the Pats went into freaking MetLife and blasted him by 4 touchdowns, you'd have a point. That game was won on the last possession. Nobody with a brain thought that was going to be a blowout.
It's not about whether or not.
Or that the Giants couldn't win, especially with Brady being on one leg. Give me a fucking break. That's why it was only 4.5.
Are you kidding me? Every single person I talked to told me the Giants were going to lose. Every person I talked to.
Every person you talked to.
Yes.
How many of them were football experts, or played in the NFL, or coached?
A lot of guys on TV were calling Patriots all day long.
No, there were people saying the Giants can. It was a 4.5-point spread. And they were like, "Is that too high?" Like, no, the Giants could beat them.
I saw.
They could. They were saying, "Look, should the Pats win? I think they should. But if the Giants beat them, am I going to be surprised? No, because it's close."
Everybody was saying, no matter what, you have Tom Brady
on
the fourth quarter.
Fucking leg.
The people weren't talking about that.
No, because the Pats don't fucking bring it. Never brought it up.
You
they
knew.
Yeah, I don't play for the fucking team.
You brought it up enough times that it makes up for them not bringing it up.
No, first of all, I'll bring it up all I want. I'm a fucking fan. I can do whatever I want. The bottom line is it's the fucking truth. He was in a boot, and if it wasn't the Super Bowl, he wouldn't have played. And by the way, the last time he faced that team on two legs, what did he do to them?
If they didn't talk about it, why do you talk about it?
Because Bill Belichick. Well, first of all, you're not going to tell your opponent anything. It's called. You don't give them. Wait, he's what? You're not saying a damn thing about it
afterwards. They didn't talk about it afterwards.
The Patriots never.
Of course, you're not going to say it before.
The fact is, he was on one leg. It was his plant foot. So I mean, you can't. He played, and he didn't play badly, but he wasn't him either. So to say he was is ridiculous. But the thing is, the Giants, when the Patriots had the lead, and that very good defense, they went down the field.
Dude,
that's reality. They went down the field.
Dude, for me, it was one of the best upsets I've ever seen.
And yes,
just because
it
was more than just, that Patriots team versus the Giants. It was that dynasty y'all had been building.
It was already a dynasty.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all built it. So it was like
people thought it was over after that.
No.
Yeah, they didn't.
Really?
They didn't win a Super Bowl for 10 years.
Well.
Mainly because of Bill Belichick.
But dude, I don't know.
Because of things he did.
I see what you're saying. Logically, people thought the Giants could win that game.
Do you realize?
Most people did not think the Giants stood a chance in that game.
People don't know.
It was just kind of like
they saw
Bill Belichick with 2 weeks.
This is what I'm talking
about. 2 weeks on a defense.
That's such a fucking lazy ass analysis.
That's ESPN all day long.
No, there were people.
It used to be.
There were people on ESPN that said, "Look, the Pats are favored and they're the better team on paper, but can the Giants beat them? Yes, they can. Absolutely, they can. And the main reason why, because they almost beat them the first time they played them, so they're confident."
Well, most of the regular people I chatted with,
I can tell you right now.
The Patriots are going to beat
you
the
ask
Giants.
any one of
Eli Manning sucks.
You ask any. He never sucked. What idiot said Eli Manning sucked?
Oh please.
That's bullshit.
You act like nobody says that.
I'm saying they don't know what they're talking about.
There's a ton of people that
nobody
think
that knows football
sucks.
would say that about Eli Manning. Before those games.
Yeah, but you don't understand about Eli because you didn't watch him every game.
I saw every fucking highlight like you did.
No, it wasn't about that. Eli Manning
and I saw every time he fucked up.
Could make a throw that would make you go, "Oh my God, that might be the best throw I've ever seen." And then 2 games after that, he can give up 3 pick sixes. And you're like, "Oh, wow." Which one are you? The worst in the league? Or that Hall of Famer?
The numbers overwhelmingly say he's that dude. He is. He's that dude.
2 playoff runs.
Yep.
Ended in.
That's 2 more than most
2
people.
Super Bowls.
Yep.
More road playoff wins than I think any other quarterback, maybe.
Except Brady.
I think he's got more road wins than him. Brady was always at home.
No, Brady has 37 playoff wins.
But how many of them are home?
They're not all at home. They won the AFC title game in Pittsburgh twice. There's 2 right there. Yes. Okay, they won in San Diego in the divisional round in 2004. They won in. I can tell you there's more than a few. So the thing is.
But see, Eli had 2 runs where they were never at home.
Yeah, they won 6.
Actually, no. One of those.
One they had a home game.
One of those they had a home game in the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking him. I think the guy's a Hall of Famer. To me, he's first ballot Hall of Famer. Because again, he did it twice. So and he had good numbers. What did he throw for 3? How many touchdown passes did he throw?
Who?
Eli.
In what game?
For his career, how many total touchdown passes did he throw?
I don't know.
He threw over 350. I can tell you that right now. He threw over 350 and he won 2 Super Bowls. There are guys in there that don't have 2 Super Bowls that don't have those numbers that are in the Hall of Fame. So he's definitely in the Hall of Fame. But the thing is, like with how do we get on this? With the how did we get on this? Never good. Never good when you don't know how you went off the rails.
Tom Brady does have more road playoff wins.
Yeah, Tom.
He's got 11.
Yeah,
Eli's got 7.
yeah.
So you think Eli's second there?
What?
Brady then Eli?
What do you mean, greatest of all time?
No. Most road wins.
I don't know if there's somebody else in there or not. But Eli's, I knew he's up on the list because of those 2 runs he made. I just didn't know where he was. I didn't think he was better than Brady or had more than Brady because Brady's just been in more playoffs.
The only reason I thought it could be is because it felt like y'all always had the top seed. Now, obviously, that wasn't true. But from looking on the outside, it felt like that.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that that's why Brady's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Because he won in all these environments. He won with less weapons. He won just like he won every which way you can win as a quarterback. You know, so he had, I mean.
Okay, I stand corrected 3 times over. Tom Brady. Who do you think's second on the list? Road playoff wins.
Oh God.
More of an Eli type than a Brady type. But in my opinion, not as good as Eli.
I mean, God, I'm thinking of every fucking quarterback.
He quarterbacked last year.
Last year, Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Wow.
8 road playoff wins.
That's,
Good for him.
well, he's got a Super Bowl too.
Then
He did
you've
win a Super
got
Bowl.
Roger Staubach with 8.
Yeah,
Then you have Eli with 7.
that's pretty impressive.
So
company.
he's 4th.
That's pretty impressive. Look at the 3 names that are above him.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
one
below
of-
him, listen to below him too. Ben Roethlisberger,
Who has 2?
who has 6.
No, 2 Super Bowls.
Right, but 6 road
Yeah.
playoff wins. Aaron Rodgers, 5. I don't know who E. Morale is. Then there's Russell Wilson. Guess who's number 9?
It's Earl Morrall.
Earl Morrall.
Morrall's out.
Morrall.
But Morrall.
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 Earl Morrall. Okay.
Morale. What'd you say?
Morrall. Morrall is Moral.
Morrall. That's how you pronounce his name. Morrall.
I know,
Earl Morrall.
but spelling wise, I thought it was Morale because there's
I didn't
2
see
R's.
the spelling.
Yeah.
I just heard his name a million times.
See, Morrall. Interesting.
Morrall.
I mean, Russell Wilson. Guess who's number 9?
Wow.
Butt fumble himself.
Snatches?
Mark Sanchez.
Snatches?
With 4 and you guys were at the hands of one of those.
By the way, that was one of Pete's jinxes. We were in that.
He Sanchezed you?
We were tailgating that game, and the Pats had blasted.
You were there?
We were at the game, and the Pats before that game was the butt fumble that year, and the Pats blasted them 45.
That was the same year as the
same
butt fumble?
fucking year.
That was the can't wait game
Yep.
with
Can't wait.
with what's his face? Bart
Fucking
Scott.
That dog, I can't stand it.
Bart Scott.
His claim to fame was
Can't wait. And they went and lost to Pittsburgh.
Like no one ever talks about that.
God,
like
yes.
you know, you guys.
Dude, Jet fans,
Dude,
never
yes.
stop talking
This
about
is how
that.
dumb ESPN is. ESPN made a fucking segment out of that fucking saying.
Really?
And they lose the next week. I'm like, this is how dumb ESPN is. You realize you just made this guy famous for fucking jinxing his team, right?
Can't wait.
Can't wait and they lose.
So Peyton Manning, 3 road playoff wins.
This is why he's not on Brady's
He
level.
didn't do it a lot.
He was never good in the postseason.
Some other higher. Pat Mahomes, 3 road, but he's still got some time left.
Well, but Travis Kelce is going to retire after this year.
Yeah.
They're going to have a problem.
Joe Burrow's got 3. Terry Bradshaw's only got 4. Joe Montana's 4. John Elway 4. That's an interesting list.
It's a great list. They're all Hall of
Because on one level, if somebody doesn't have as many, maybe their team was better. Maybe they were playing more home
If
playoff
you're
games.
on that list, you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but that list is big and it goes all the way down to like
I know.
2 road
Well,
playoff
I'd
games.
say if you're at, say, 5 or more.
You're a Hall of Famer.
Definitely 5 or more, you're a Hall of Famer.
5 or more Hall of Fame.
I think you are.
Wow, I kind of want to go back to that list real quick.
Well, we know who's on it. Flacco's on it. I think Flacco's a Hall of Famer. He won a Super Bowl. And Flacco's had a good career.
Okay, so everybody 5 and above is a Hall of Famer. The only one that some people will question is Eli.
Eli's an easy one.
I agree, but
He's
some
more-
people say no.
He's more of a lock than Flacco is.
I agree with that. Flacco's only got 1, right?
1 ring.
1 ring.
Yeah. But he's been good in most places. Yeah.
Whew, here's where it gets iffy. If
Now, of course-
if Mark Sanchez comes back, throws and wins one of these road playoff games, he's a Hall of fucking Famer.
No, then we have to blow
He
it
goes
up.
from 4 to 5.
Then we have to blow it up.
5, but right now 5 looks pretty safe.
5 looks pretty solid.
Now Russell Wilson's at 4.
He's
So,
got the Super Bowl.
If
you're not on that list, it's not like you're not a Hall of Famer. You just definitely are if you are on that list, I think. Of course, Mark Sanchez.
Mark Brunell was at 4, finished his career at 4.
Yeah, he was good. He was never great, though. He was good for a long time, but he was never. I would never say Mark Brunell.
Marcus Mariota has 3. If he gets into a couple playoff games in the next 5 years, and
What are the odds of that happening?
Hall of Famer.
I'll believe that when I see
Well,
it.
he's in Philly right now. Let's say
So-
Jalen Hurts goes down. Jalen Hurts goes down.
Joe will start crying.
In
like,
walks Marcus, the miracle maker Mariota. He throws for 3 bombs, no picks, and he gets his 4th win. He's 1 away
you
from becoming a
understand
Hall
that
of Famer.
Mariota's had some great talent around him before and choked, right?
I'm just playing. I'm just playing along.
I'm just saying. Marcus Mariota is a known choker.
Trent Dilfer was 2 wins away from Hall of Fame.
He was a solid. He wasn't good. He was solid. I'd say he had a solid career.
John Elway almost made the Hall of Fame with 4.
John Elway played in 5 Super Bowls.
Yeah, he almost made the Hall of Fame. But he didn't have enough road playoff wins, so he's out of there.
That's why I laugh at people who talk about Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, he's John Elway. And everyone thinks I'm crazy. I'm like, go put in tapes of Elway. And he was doing that against teams that could decapitate you and would. Look at Elway's highlights. Unfucking believable. Elway, talent-wise, is oh my god. He was way ahead of his
Holy
time.
shit, it's 11:52.
Yes, and this segment has gone on way too long.
Dear God, hour and 11?
Big piping.
Good night, folks.
Good.
We just let this one get away from
We're
us.
ashamed, folks. we live in shame.
I gotta go to the office tomorrow.
We'll see you in 48 hours with more with even less shame than before. Until then, for the redoubtable one, the highly questionable one, you guys know the drill.
Scuttlebutt. Absolute blimey.
Blimey. Uh-oh, where'd it go?
Oh, man.